What is the metaverse? And how do NFTs come into the metaverse? How do we get into the metaverse? What is it? What NFTs can we buy to give us exposure to the metaverse? I am Philip Kalinko. Next to me is Morland Mount, and this is the NFT show.
What's up, guys? How's it
Good
going?
thing.
I'm excited for today's show. I love metaverse stuff. It goes almost hand in hand with my play to earn video games stuff that I love so much with NFTs. So I'm looking forward to chatting about this today.
For sure. Well, I mean, that's exactly it. Minecraft is a metaverse. You know, I think let's start there. Let's start. What is the metaverse? Because I think that question alone is just a question mark for a lot of people. I'll give you my understanding of the metaverse, and hopefully, it helps you to understand. So, the metaverse is really just a digital location. That's what it is. It's a hangout. It's a nightclub. It's a country that you visit on your computer or through VR headsets or something to that effect, right? And within that country or metaverse, and there's various different metaverses, within that you can own digital assets. Your NFTs serve as digital assets if they are metaverse ready, whether it be a PFP or a car, or a jacket or whatever it may be, clothing. All of that are digital assets that are in the metaverse, right? So I just want to start off by giving you some practical examples. And, you'll be able to see on OpenSea if you just go to the home page and you scroll down a bit, and you can either go to trending or you can go browse by category. And if you click on virtual worlds, these are all types of metaverses. Now, NFT related metaverses like Sandbox and Decentraland, which I'm going to speak to you about, those are decentralized, meaning they're not owned by companies. It's not like Facebook has got Mecca, which is their own metaverse that's owned by Facebook. Whereas here, if you own land in the Sandbox, you one of the owners there. It's not owned by a public company. And I think even Zoom in and of itself is in a way a type of very entry level metaverse. It allows us to be able to even what Morland and I are doing now. The show is in the metaverse in essence because we're sitting in different locations and we're broadcasting to you virtually. We're not sitting in the same room. And I do think that the pandemic definitely, I know the pandemic definitely accelerated that type of virtual meeting and made that the norm because people couldn't leave their homes and they were stuck in front of only the devices that they had around them. And so Zoom came on, and we had Skype before that, and even I think Microsoft Teams, and no one ever used it at all. But all of a sudden it got thrust forward. So here you're seeing all the different metaverses, and we're going to talk about a couple of them. I just want to show you here just so that you can get an idea of who the big boys are. If you go to stats and ranking, and then under categories, go to virtual worlds, and then maybe we'll sort it by all time, just so you can see which are the biggest metaverse type NFTs. And here you've got Decentraland, then you've got Sandbox, and third you've got NFT Worlds. And so I would implore you to have a look here if you are thinking of getting into it, into metaverse type projects, and seeing these are the big boys in the space, right? Now, each of these metaverses are their own location. You can look at it almost like countries in the world. Decentraland is its own virtual location, and in Decentraland, you use mana as a currency. Right. So instead of Ethereum, you can buy with your dollars or your currency, you can buy this cryptocurrency called Mana. And that is the ecosystem of Decentraland. So while you're in Decentraland and playing in Decentraland, you can then use that to purchase and build stuff there. Sandbox has got sand and so on and so forth. So each single metaverse has got its own almost economy. And, also virtual reality is a great example of metaverse. put on VR glasses, and you're immersed in this world that isn't physical. It's a virtual world, and you can do things there. So I think that if you are looking at getting into metaverse type projects, you want to focus on the big ones, because no one really wants to own a plot of land in the middle of absolutely nowhere in the metaverse where no one knows about it. Unless that's what you want to be a loner like that, fine. But from an investment perspective, and not in a negative way, I would love to go to a corner of the world where no one is and just have a bit of quiet. But the truth is that if you're looking from an investment perspective, it's just like you're not going to buy a property in Iceland in the corner where no one ever goes or sees. If you want to invest, your top one would be to buy, on Times Square or whatever, New York City, London, Dubai, somewhere which is populated, where there's people know about it. So it's the same thing here with the metaverse, right? If you do want to invest in this and you want a good return on your investment, the best would be to get into the big boys like a Decentraland, the Sandbox, NFT Worlds, which is really pretty new compared to these two, and we're going to talk about it in detail tonight. It's an incredible project. So I hope that gives you a bit of a outline as to what a metaverse is. The future use cases would be, we could go, and they're doing it already. You can go to a Snoop Dogg concert in the metaverse, right? Yep. So you buy a ticket, which could either be your NFT, you'd get free access, or you actually buy a virtual ticket, and you can go and be in your avatar with your jacket from Chibi Labs and your hoverboard from Jadu Hoverboards, flying around while Snoop is giving a concert with his avatar with him there. And then afterwards you can have an after party. And so they're already doing it. And that's when we talk about Nike and Adidas, their appeal is, and Champion now, their appeal is that they will be able to have a presence in these popular metaverses, the Sandbox and Decentraland. They could have like a shop there, like they would on a high street, where instead of, they could sell the shoes that they could then, physical shoes that they could then ship to you, or tracksuit or whatever, but they will also be selling digital shoes that you could wear in the metaverse, your latest Nikes, which will maybe light up, or a hoodie or whatever it may be. So that's really, a very brief overview. And now we're going to dive deep into a couple of really exciting metaverse projects, starting with the bigger ones and then moving down into entry-level ones, which will give you some exposure without breaking the bank. So Morland, I'm going to hand it over to you, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. So first one to take a look at, guys, would be Worldwide Webland. So this one's not as detailed as, say, a Decentraland or a Sandbox, in the sense that it's a large 3D world that you can walk around in and interact in. This is taking a little bit of a different approach, and it's a pixelated metaverse. So you might be wondering, what's the appeal of that? Like, I want it to be realistic. If I'm in the metaverse, I want it to feel real. But these guys have taken a really cool approach to how they're doing their whole collection. So each different NFT is an apartment or a penthouse or different size. We can actually take a look here. The cheaper ones are the smaller apartments. If you switch over to the higher price things, you can see there are some penthouses. So, what's the point in owning one? The idea is that you can actually bring your NFT into this apartment and hang out. So right now, this little pixelated character is just a blank avatar, but they've actually partnered with some blue chip NFT collections to have their NFT, their avatars, usable within this space. So I'm actually clicking and playing right now and moving around this this penthouse suite. So the other unique part of this is that these are actually almost like modular. You can buy multiple and connect them. And there's a really cool page on their Discord where they have people who have actually bought up a bunch of different apartments, put them all together. This person actually even built the Dunder Mifflin office space. So if you're a fan of The Office, this might be familiar to you. So just through collecting the different NFT metaverse apartments, they've combined them to build this replica of Dunder Mifflin. This is another person's their layout that they've put in. So they've put their NFTs on the wall to show them off. There's another person here that's built a full gallery. So this is their NFT gallery that they've built. So there's a lot of different options that you as a holder have for using this specific apartment, right? So it's not just that you have a chunk of land; you actually have a building that you're building or constructing. Here's a couple more examples of what people have thrown together. So I think that's a really unique aspect to the NFT, that you can build out your own apartment, really. So if you do take a look at what they're currently sitting at, it's 1.95 floor price. So one of the, I guess, more affordable metaverse lands currently. But one to watch, definitely. Jumping over to their website, they really tout that interoperability. So being able to bring in other NFTs into their metaverse and use them, show them off, have them as your avatars. So really awesome opportunity to get in on a unique metaverse play. And yeah, here they talk about the avatars and pets. So your other NFTs coming in and acting as your avatars. They've have partners with CryptoPunks, Kaiju Kings, Cyber Kongs, and then for their pet avatars, Punk Cats, Cypher City Pets, and a few others. So, I mean, I think this is a unique twist on the metaverse, right? That's the way I look at it. It's not your 3D immersive metaverse that a lot of people are expecting, but this is a way to introduce people to the idea of a metaverse, introduce people to the concept of bringing your NFTs into that space and using them within that space, showing them off within that space. And as it continues to build out and people continue to buy and collect the apartments and build out their complexes, it's going to be really interesting to see what gets flushed out from here. They even have NFT. They even have an NFT that they launched that was your avatar to be used within the space. So I'll just jump quickly back to that. So they had the actual crypto weebs and crypto GFs. So those were their original launch back in I believe it was March. Yeah, March 2021. They launched this, and then they launched the land, and then coming up or available currently are items to be used within the your apartment. So this is how it's all kind of connected together and builds out that metaverse universe. And that's usually what you're looking for, right? When you look speaking about a metaverse, is how does it all work together in a cohesive ecosystem? So just a really cool one to take a look at. Current floor price is 1.9, but that is only for the smaller apartments. So do your own research. Just wanted to bring your attention to that one. Cool one.
Cool. Whoopsie.
Oh.
Okay, you did one. And the
Here we
next
go.
one
Here
is
we go.
NFT Worlds. All right, so this is one of my favorites. The floor price at the moment is 9.5 Ethereum. I personally think this is a great entry point. I really do. Not financial advice. If you look over here at activity, they recently went close to 20 Ethereum. And the reason for the drop in price is that they recently, about 3 days ago, did a world token drop where they gave you their currency for holding an NFT world. Worked out to about 1.5 ETH for me, and I've been holding for about 2 months. A lot of people ended up aping into this project because of the world payout, and so it has seen a recovery, a downward movement, like you do see when projects either drop another collection for free or whatever it may be. To compound that, we've obviously got a whole lot of stuff going on in NFT world. We're definitely in the beginning, if not already in a bear market. And so there's a lot of things playing, but I really do think this is a great investment. We did do a previous video on NFT world, so I'm going to try and do this differently, and so focus on different types of things here. But another reason that I'm really bullish on this particular project is because it seems to be the most commonly used one for other NFT projects to get into the metaverse. So we're seeing a hang of a lot of projects purchase either one or multiple NFT worlds, hiring a builder to build on that land. And I'll just show you the sort of things that are being built at the moment or have been built. So this is just from their Twitter page. Now,
Wow.
each NFT world is massive. It will take like 2 days or 3 days for your avatar to walk from one edge to the other. It's every world, every single NFT is bigger than the Hall of Sandbox, just to try and put it in perspective. And it's your land. You can do what you want on that land. You can build what you want, and you can do what you please on it. They will be very launching a staking and renting ability very, very soon, in the next couple of weeks max, where if you own an NFT world and you're not a project or you don't want to build on it, you've got no use for it, you can rent it. So you can use their own system, their own website that they're developing, and you can rent out your land. And you'll be paid in world token, and you can say how long you want to rent it for. NFT worlds will be like the rental agent, and they will make sure that everything is done on their side correctly. You can choose how to rent it. The nice thing is that if a renter gets, let's say I rent a world to a project, and after a month I decide, actually I want to build my own world on my project, the project that was renting mine can take their entire build and move it to any other NFT world. So obviously, even though we're seeing 10,000 items and 4,600 owners, this is deflationary, because as people buy worlds to build on other projects, and I'm going to take you through which projects are building worlds, as people are building on them, they're not going to sell them. It's an asset to that project. They can say they're in the metaverse. And so there's going to be less and less for sale. So really, honestly, this is Council of Kings, an NFT collection that owns a couple of NFT worlds. And this is what they've built. And it also, like Morland was saying in the very beginning, it also can tie into P2E in a big way, because, this can be where you come to play their game and earn either their token or world token. Makes more sense to earn world token, I would think. And I know most projects are doing that. I haven't heard of anyone not doing it. But you can see this is a huge achievement for this particular project, Council of Kings. They can be very proud of what they've built. And here's another person or company that has built luxury apartments on their NFT world, that they now going to be renting each apartment out to people. I mean, that looks really clear. That doesn't look like a pixelated, it's as good as you get, this build, really, from that perspective. And so you'll be able to,
the
how
sky
cool.
looks really realistic. The sky.
It's incredible, hey?
They did a great job with this one.
Yeah. I mean, look at that.
It makes you your mind start to race, sort of like, what are the different possibilities here if you own this land? Like, what could you build and do and use it for?
It's endless. You could do a golf course. You could do, like, South Africa, it's very popular to go on game drives. with animals. You could do a virtual freaking game reserve. I mean,
Yeah.
a location where people can go. In a way, Google Maps was the beginning, the 3D maps, being able to
Yeah.
actually do street view. That's a
Yeah.
metaverse of the world. That's a metaverse representation of the world. You can explore the world without having to leave the comfort of your home. So yeah, I mean, NFT Worlds is a great project, guys. Truly, I'm tempted to buy another one. I just don't have much ETH because everything's so cheap. I've been buying everything I can at the moment. But yeah, at this price, I'll put a prediction now. And we'll check it out and we'll remember. My prediction is by the end of this year, these will be 25 to 30 ETH floor price.
Wow.
Truly, and I've got like very strong conviction in that.
And
Uh, yeah,
we've talked about another project that Gray Boys, right? Like we've talked
yeah,
about
we're
their
gonna chat about it later
involvement,
as well.
and yeah, it's just more and more projects seem to be taking that route of going NFT worlds rather than Sandbox or Decentraland, which has kind of priced people out of the market right now
Yeah.
because they were at a time they were the only real viable metaverse if you wanted to buy legitimate land, and now there's a lot of opportunities. NFT Worlds is one of them. I like the way that you've described it, that each world is bigger than the whole of Sandbox, and that on that land, like you're able to do exactly what you do in Sandbox, but you have all the space, right? Like you don't just have a little tiny pixelated couple
Mm.
corners of Sandbox. Like that's going to be massive. And then the renting aspect, it's just what a great
And
project
they also have capabilities to have like up to 10,000 people virtual avatars
in there at one.
on one world at one time. So
Wow.
you could effectively build your own sandbox.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like
You could launch an NFT project called NFT World 1257 and literally sell parcels of it for people to develop on.
yeah, I was just going to say that. That's
Yeah.
so, yeah, that's smart, man. Great idea.
Thank
Great idea.
you.
All right, let's move on to another really great metaverse idea. This one's another a unique one, and we've brought it to you in the past, but I just wanted to rehash what's going on with the project and kind of give an update. So, Metroverse, if you guys remember that one or not, it's the different neighborhoods that make up a city. So each one has a different score, and that score is based on what is available in that neighborhood of the city, and the score dictates how much of their token met you're going to earn through staking. So the cool thing about this is that they've actually gamified it in the sense of getting people to collect different neighborhoods to put them together and build a full city. So it might sound kind of convoluted, but when you jump over to their Discord and take a look at their latest announcements, it kind of makes sense. So they've built what they're calling an address book. So you're able to find the actual city blocks that you're looking for, that you need to combine to your city, or other people that you could partner with to build a city. So they actually have people building alliances currently and joining together to build the ultimate metaverse city through Metroverse and their assets. And they've just recently launched their hood simulator. So what that is basically it gives you like if you enter the wallet address of a holder, it will simulate what that neighborhood will look like for you. So just all in all, it's really interesting how they've created almost like a monopoly mechanic, right? Where you want to collect and combine your city blocks. You need to buy up in Monopoly, you need to own certain amount of land or homes or hotels, whatever it is, before you can build the larger piece on it. So that's kind of what's going on with Metroverse. Part of that is the staking. Like there is not a huge amount of people currently selling this. If you go to their website, they actually show, what is it, 94% is staked. So 94% of the collection is currently staked. That there's 3,441 of those people. So these stakers are earning MET, their token, and then that's utilized within their ecosystem. So really,
and can be transferred to ETH. Can be
yeah,
swapped to ETH.
can be swapped. So it's kind of like you're the landlord and you're getting paid your rent in their MET token, and then you can do what you need to do with it. So like we've talked about this project before, like we'll link that video, but just the roadmap currently, they're showing exactly where they're at. They're done the mint. The vault is released. That's done. So they started with their token, the reveal. They revealed their NFTs. The MET token launch. A boost feature was launched, so players can begin claiming MET bonuses for boosts present in their neighborhood. So based off what's in your neighborhood, like I mentioned earlier, what attributes to the city it has, those are boosters. They would boost your MET yield. And then what's coming, the blackout mint. So blackout blocks are available to mint on the Ethereum blockchain for the price of, they're using their MET token to mint their next collection. So that's another utility for the MET token. The Mare Mint, 1,000 Genesis Mares available to mint. And then the PvP game is released. So this is where everything comes into play. All the utilities of all the assets come into play. People who have been forming alliances and building their city blocks or their hoods or their cities are now able to play, and different factions have been formed. So a really cool way to create gamification and create an ecosystem, a world that is thriving on itself, really, right? Like, the people staking their NFTs, earning tokens. Those tokens are then used again to buy further into the project in the next drops. Those next drops are then utilized in the PvP game, and just really, a really unique way of approaching these things.
Yeah. I'm incredibly bullish on this project. I minted 2 of them when they came out. Ended up selling one, like I always do, for a 2x or whatever it was. And very recently, in this recent dip, I ended up buying a second one again. Because with the staking, you do get a good amount of MET, like you were saying, and MET does have a great value. So I actually claimed on the weekend and I got zero point 0.4 Ethereum for also about 2 months of staking one. So if you think about it, if you buy one for 2 Ethereum, you pretty much will pay that off in a year.
Yeah.
And thereafter it's fully profit. And I think when people start to realize that calculation, these are going to fly more than they have. I mean, they started at 0.1 or whatever it was, 0.2 maybe, whatever it was. They're now sitting at an average 2 ETH floor price. And every time it goes under that 2 ETH, it gets bought up by notable wallets every single time. So there's a lot of big people who are noticing this project, and I think at 2 ETH it's a great buy. I think it's no secret that I'm very bullish on metaverse projects. That doesn't mean that any project that says they're going to do a metaverse in the roadmap, right, that I'm bullish on that. But specifically, these it's funny to say that projects that have been out for 3 months or whatever are blue chips, but these 3 that we've spoken about, Worldwide Wetland, Metaverse and NFT Worlds. Those for me, outside of Decentraland and Sandbox and all of that, are definitely the top players now. What we did, and we've put this in our Discord. We then said, okay, these metaverse type projects are flying at the moment, right? So we looked at any project that owns an NFT world and then put them on the spreadsheet. And again, if you come into our Discord, you can get it from the description of this video on YouTube. If you come into our Discord, stuff like this is here, including this. But here you can just see projects that have land. So, this gray boys, which we bought you very early when they were about 0.25 or 0.3. Even in the current market conditions, they're sitting at 1.2. Recently, they hit as high as early twos. Grey Boys is quite interesting because it's the same founding team as NFT Worlds. So for me, it was always a no-brainer that they were going to integrate the Grey Boys into the metaverse. And you can see here that they own 11 NFT worlds, which is really a substantial investment. Obviously they never bought it at 20 ETH each. They probably bought in very early on. But still, the current value at 10 Ethereum each is 110 Ethereum for their presence in NFT worlds. And then just ignoring all the small ones with one, the next one we come to, the next biggest, and this has actually gone up recently. They now own 30 NFT worlds. This is the second biggest one, Skuxverse. Wow. And if we go over here, we also bought this to you on a Freestyle Friday. You remember, Moreland?
Yeah.
At point two. I like eating my own medicine. Trying out my own stock. What is it?
Don't smoke your own supply.
I enjoy smoking my own supply. Don't get high off your own supply.
That's what it is.
So yeah. I'm the opposite to that. Every project that I'm excited about and I tell you about, I try to get into. So we did bring this to you under 0.2. It went as high as 0.6. And I still think that this is a really great entry point. So, we've shown you the Sandbox Decentraland is very expensive for the same amount of space as NFT Worlds. It's just crazy. Then we've shown you the big boy for a relatively fair price considering the size of land, NFT Worlds. Then we've shown you Worldwide Wetland and Metaverse, which are sort of 2 Ethereum. And now we're looking at, okay, 2 Ethereum's a hard entry. What can we get into? So this for me is a really good place still to buy at 0.387. Recently, I just want to show you, it went as high as 1. It's a relatively new project, very new, about a month old. But the nice thing is that you'll be getting world airdrops for being a part of owning this and also playing in their worlds, right? So that's one to look at. The next one here with the next highest. So we've got Break Club and Hero Galaxy. Hero Galaxy is a very new project, owns 10 lands, and I think if you go to NFT World's Twitter, they show you the Hero Galaxy's world as well, so they've already built on it. And again, that's a great entry point. Now, personally, from an investment perspective, just my own feeling, and maybe my logic is flawed, I don't know, but I would rather spend the same amount of money, because even a bit cheaper, and buy into a project that's got 30 lands versus spending the same amount. Let's just assume this was 0.38 and buying into a project that has 10 lands, right? Just because it makes me feel like these guys have got bigger plans. Because do you agree with that? I don't know if it's the correct logic.
Yeah, I guess it really just depends on what you see the value of these two being, right? Like Skuxverse, what are they going to do with those 30 lands? Are they developing on all 30 and it's going to be a massive metaverse player, or are they just holding them to flip and put the ETH into a treasury or something.
No, I
And
don't know if they're developing all of them, but I agree with you. It is important. They're definitely developing some of them. So let's have a look here. So it's a unique metaverse project which grants its token holders access to its custom built metaverse. Okay, so that was what was on OpenSea already. Phase two, develop NFT worlds to create more community branded real estate and incentivize community gameplay. Monthly token holders world airdrop to Skux holders. Then roll out the token color incentive.
maybe their
Individual
plan is
merchants.
to maybe the plan with that drop of world token, maybe their plan is just to accumulate world token through holding 30 worlds, even if they only use one for their own Skuxverse or whatever it is, and they just use that as rewards for people who hold their NFT because they would be getting paid, right, for the world token as it's used. I don't know. I'm not trying to
No,
speculate or
I think
anything,
you're
but
right. No, I think you're
yeah.
right. So yeah, I mean, look, I think the best thing to do if these types of projects interest you, is to jump into our Discord and get this Excel sheet and do your own research. Go look at
Mm.
each of the projects that own these worlds, see what their plans are with them. But I do think that if 10 ETH is too much for you, you can't. Metaverse is 2 ETH is too much for you. Zero point 0.3 ETH is too much for you. There are other ones here like properties, which we've bought you before, also owns one or two NFT worlds, and that's sitting at 0.13 at the moment. So if this genre interests you and you're looking to invest in it, there really is something across the spectrum. And I would just suggest, yeah, going and having a look. But there's no secret. I'm very bullish. I think metaverse, P2E, that sort of stuff, and as Morland said in the beginning, they are interlinked because any game needs a location for the game to be played, especially if it's multiplayer, right, Heath?
Yeah, for sure. And what a lot of these places are, a lot of these metaverses are offering is a unique community where multiple different games can be played and at the same time, right? Like I could walk down the street basically and then go play whatever game I want to play right here and then come out of there and be like, "Oh, maybe I'll go over there and play with my buddy and we'll play I don't know, Fall Guys or whatever the game is, right? Like it's creating a full like real world where you can interact and spend time with your friends, and it's not just sitting with a mic and talking to them. Well, it is, but like it creates more of an interaction,
Immersive.
immersive
Yeah,
interaction. Yeah, for sure.
for sure. I just want to show you the Hero Galaxy world that they're building because that was one of the ones we just spoke about. But this is Council of Kings. So if we then go, I did show you this one, but if we then go to this spreadsheet and we look up Council of Kings, we'll see that
There it
they
was.
have, yeah, I see it. They have got six NFT worlds, right? So it's just a nice way to be able to look at it and think, okay, this is a good place to go. Um, Here's someone playing a game in there. Someone who's built a game. This
Yeah, so
reminds me of Doom.
yeah, I was just gonna say it looks like Doom. So like the
Yeah,
world itself too doesn't always have to be like it's going to be different. It's each one like this is a shooter, a first person shooting game, whereas other ones could be adventure games where you're out searching for certain items and utilities. So really cool.
yeah. So here's Hero Galaxies. Also a game in there. Oh, he just fell off. Wow, look how cool, man.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
so it's
almost like Gladiator.
I think they're doing like it's like Squid Games. I don't know if you've seen that show.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
been
yeah.
Netflix. Yeah, Squid Games. Those are, I think, sort of Squid Game copies almost, which is fine. I like they're just fun multiplayer games.
Yeah.
But the fact, yeah, definitely the fact that projects are getting in and holding these NFT worlds, uh, that's bullish for the project. That's bullish for NFT worlds. And like you said, if you don't have the funds to get a full chunk of land yourself, try and get access to it through getting in on one of these NFT collections that have invested in it themselves, right? Because technically,
Or
as a holder, you well, depending on the structure of that NFT collection, you have access to uh, that land, right? You are almost rewarded for holding that land, just the same as you would be if you bought it yourself.
yeah. And the other thing, Morland, which you actually brought up with regards to the mutant and the board ape token, is that same thing here. If any of these are, you don't want to buy any of the NFTs, you could always just buy some world
The world
token,
token.
the NFT worlds token. You could put $10 in,
Yeah.
and just hold that as your play in it. Again, I
Well,
mean, I just
there's
want to make it very, very clear that this is not paid for by NFT Worlds, not
yeah.
like at all.
We
I'm
just
just
really
a
like it.
big,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a big fan.
Well,
That's it.
it's with the world token, it's the same as Sandbox and the Sand token, same as Decentraland and the Mana token. Like I had a bag of mana for a while there that I was holding, and um, that was my access to Decentraland. I hadn't even thought about at the time. I hadn't even crossed my mind about being able to maybe own some of that land. Like, well,
Yeah,
I knew it was possible, but I personally, financially, it was out of the question. But
yeah.
I realized, oh, well, maybe I can be involved in the ecosystem and buy that token. So what I'm saying is NFT worlds, just don't think of it just as a NFT pixelated thing that I hold in my wallet. Like they are building something here that has a true utility token that could be just as valuable as sand or mana, or even more valuable one day, right?
Yeah.
If they come out of this as one of the top metaverse.
Yeah,
So like
and
look at
they
that.
so
That's
far they're
sick.
doing an incredible job. Honestly, they've only been around for 2 months. They've achieved so much. The team is busy all the time. The staking is going to change the game, and the renting. But yeah, I mean, it's a good time to be a land builder, right?
Yeah.
This is a very sought after skill currently. It's
One
like
of my
the architect.
one of my buddies is a Minecraft player, and he builds stuff like that. He and a group of his friends built I think it was Hogwarts or something. They built a full replica of like a castle, like a
Hmm.
fantasy castle. And I should tell him like you should look into getting a deal with NFT Worlds and build for them.
Yeah,
You
so
might
on
get
their
paid to
Discord,
do
they
it.
do. They've got different builders that you can use. There's a D's Nuts, which is Doge Pound Launchpad project where Doge Pound helped them grow and is a part of the team. Surprisingly, Doge isn't looking so hot price wise at the moment, but I'm still a big fan. But yeah, I mean, here's as Morland was saying, here's some practical examples of what people are building on their land. This is specific to NFT World, but I think it just gives you a great idea of the future possibilities that could be done. There in one of these videos that while you were talking, Morland, this one here, there's a casino there. So this could be end up being like the Vegas of the metaverse. So I definitely think. I also think that if you want to get into this type of genre, I would like differentiate a bit. So I'd have some with NFT World. So either the NFT World or projects that are building on NFT Worlds, like Skunk's First, Hero Galaxy, that sort of stuff. And then I'd try get some sandbox land or assets or whatever. Try get some Decentraland. Try get some Axie Infinity, right? Just so that you've got a bit of everything. If this is the thing, and I don't do this. I've got a really wide array of different types of NFT. I've got art NFTs, land NFTs, P2E NFTs, and everything in between, right? But I do think that there's a lot of merit in choosing a lane and sticking to it. I
Mm-hmm.
do think so. You can say, like for you, Morland, you're a PTE guy, you're a gamer. So there is merit to saying that's where you should be focused, because there's so many projects and there's so much out there and there's so many distractions that
Yeah.
if you were focused and you knew everything about the top 10 gaming NFTs, you would be in a great place. And same with me, I would probably choose World. I really would. I like metaverse type plays because I
Yeah.
really like them. I mean, I've been going on about NFT Worlds since they came out. They were free mint, man.
Yeah.
And then they were point one, and I said it's a steal. Then they were one, I said it's a steal. Then they were five, I said it's a steal. Now they're 9.5, and I swear to God they're a steal. I really believe it. So for me, I maybe that should be where I focus, and I do like that it ties into the P2E so nicely. So
Yeah.
projects that are doing gaming as their roadmap are using NFT World. So it sort of allows me to get into the two biggest genres at the moment, just through one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's really cool, and I think all of these are something to watch out for.
Mm-hmm.
And as Morland touched on, it's true utility. Uh, you know, if you
Yeah.
want utility, this is it.
And projects like NFT projects launching, like PFP projects, 3D projects, whatever it is, they need to find a way to get metaverse land. Like they're not going to create it themselves. They need to buy it or find it somehow. So whether it's worldwide webland or NFT worlds or Metroverse, like they're going to need to purchase these already constructed metaverses to actually do what they want to do, right? So it's providing added utility for other NFT collections that don't have any, right? Like think of the first one we talked about, Worldwide Webland. You as a NFT collection don't have the funds or the time to actually build a full metaverse or game. You could approach Worldwide Webland, say, "Hey, this is our project. We want our avatar in your land, and we'll buy a bunch of chunks of land, and we'll build a tower out of it, and that will be our metaverse. And our users can come in and do whatever it is that we want them to do in that space." Right? NFT Worlds is another perfect example that we've been talking about for the last 20 minutes. So
Yeah.
it's just added
He
utility.
has a golf course, and we said,
Oh, cool.
I think he looks like a golfer.
Yeah, that's
Meta
cool.
Masters. So I
Imagine
mean, it would.
Lynx DAO. Lynx DAO buys an NFT World and just creates the biggest golfing metaverse. Imagine
And
that.
I think it's very important. Something that you must know if you are looking to buy is that it doesn't matter. Let me just jump to them on OpenSea. It doesn't matter if your world is fully water. You can build on the entire surface area of the world. So a lot of people don't get that, and they see a land with mountains and they think, well, how am I going to build around the mountains? It's not the case. Each world is the same size. And even like a world like this, just as an example, you could build the entire square of this. It doesn't matter that there's water there, doesn't matter that there's trees there. That makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. You can build from edge to edge, even when it's full of water. Yeah,
Wow.
I think that's just an important thing to know, because I didn't realize that in the
I didn't
beginning,
realize that either, actually.
and I skipped over a couple on the floor because obviously the people selling didn't realize, because they were fully water. And yeah, so just something important to know with regards to NFT world specifically. But
Yeah.
I think that covers it, more. Is there anything else you think we should speak to?
No, just do your own research, everyone. Not financial advice.
Yeah, look,
As
now,
crazy as we get, as excited as we get about all these things, like don't let us sway your decisions. right?
50% discount on NFT Worlds currently.
Yeah. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
Buy one, get one free. Buy one for a week ago's price at 20 ETH and you get another one free. Yeah, look, I agree. It's not financial advice. We don't have crystal balls. Um, but I do think that, yeah, you know what I think. I think this is
Yeah.
the way to go.
No,
I do.
definitely. I don't want to take anything away from what we've spoke about today because I'm a true believer in all of these projects. I think they all are going to uh, etch their own little corner out in the metaverse. Some may be bigger than others, but they're here now. They're doing it now. They're building now. So imagine when the metaverse is 10 years established for 10 years, where they're going to be then, right? So you
Yeah.
have an opportunity now to be in on it at the start. So
Yeah, and I just want to show you. I mean, if you so we did look at the all-time volume, but if you look at the last recent, even 30 days, which we'll go to, NFT Worlds is almost double the sandbox as far as what's being sold, and a lot more than Decentraland. So obviously they're the new kids on the block, but I do think what they've been able to achieve in I think only 3 months of being launched, somewhere around there, to think even on the 30-day average for virtual worlds they are very clearly in the front, almost a third more volume than Sandbox over the last 30 days. Um,
mhm.
so it's only really where you go all time because Sandbox and Decentraland have been around so much longer that you
Well, and
then get this difference over here.
yeah, and Decentraland, it's not like you're running out of space. Like it's
Yeah.
hard to get space to build there, and once you've built, like people aren't selling, right? So that's why the volume is so low. No one
Look,
can buy.
I mean, yeah, you're getting a block.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it is a different type of concept, and this is already got, if that block is right next to, let's just say, Cyberkongs, then that's a great deal, right?
Yeah.
So even though it's a smaller land, but it's almost like this is the time to get into NFT worlds. And I do imagine that people will be subdividing their land also, right? So
Hmm.
renting, cutting it up, not physically, but and saying, okay, that you could be a landlord, and
Yeah.
as we said, do your own sandbox. And
Yeah.
so I'm very bullish on metaverse, bullish on all of these. Do want to say, and we'll talk about it a lot more tomorrow. The NFT market is definitely in a bear, guys. What that means is that don't panic. If you've got conviction in your projects, they will go back up again if they're good projects. If you're sitting on a bit of ETH, I would be buying the blue chips now. I think that this is what a lot of people have been waiting for. Everything's at a discount, and I think it's a great opportunity. I'm not saying this is the bottom, and it's not financial advice. It might go a bit lower, it might go a lot lower, but I do strongly and firmly believe that it will bounce back, whether that be in a week or a month or 2 months or whatever. It will bounce back like it always has so far. And when it does, I'm going to be selling my blue chips that I bought now.
And we'll be here the whole time bringing you the latest news and hyped projects and what we think is the best plays for the current market.
For sure.
So
So, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is Freestyle Fridays. What is Freestyle Fridays?
we're chilling, talking NFTs. You guys can bring your questions, ask us to review a project on the fly if it's not trash, and you're not trying to just shill your bags. But yeah, we hang out with you guys, we answer questions, and we just do our thing. My favorite
For
day of the
sure. So join us. Me too. Join us tomorrow. Lots of news, lots of NFT related news. I can't wait to bring to you, Morland and I. And yeah, guys, if you haven't already, please like the video. Please subscribe. Come join our Discord. Come say how's it. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place for Freestyle Fridays.
See you guys. Peace.
Cheers, guys.